In my friend's parish, every other Sunday, they have a community meal. They invite those who have difficulty in their homes with financial resources, with feeding their children, and those who don't, to come together in the parish hall for a beautiful family meal. And it's grown not only in numbers, but it's grown to an attendance at their 12 o'clock Mass on Sunday. And so they go from Mass to the meal, from the meal to Mass. It's really beautiful. It's an amazing process. And I think we're all involved in the same way, that we're all connected through the holiness of the meal. The universality of the Eucharist is something that gathers us around the table and calls us to the tables of our homes. And there's tremendous implication when we invite others. Think about the simplicity of a can of food that we put in the food pantry. And yet that can of food has an effect. The smallest to the greatest all matter. Everything matters. It's part of the process that's illustrated in the advice of our first reading today. Complete my joy by being of the same mind, with the same love, united in heart, thinking one thing. Do nothing out of selfishness or out of vainglory. Rather, humbly regard others as more important than yourselves, each looking out not for his own interests, but also for those of others. Yeah, that's the community meal. It's the community meal of the Eucharist. It's the community meal of our gathering together. It's not always easy. Sometimes we prefer to be around the same folks, don't we? But we ride the train and commute to work and go to school with believers and non-believers, with Democrats and Republicans, with saints and sinners, and everything in between. The promise, though, is that being together, breaking bread, hearing the Scripture, with the wide variety of humanity in its poverty, whatever that poverty may be it financial poverty, health poverty, a spiritual poverty, or anything else, there's a promise here today, a promise of repayment in the resurrection and in the joy that comes from the proclamation of our psalm. Yes, in the midst of everyone, we have our peace in the Lord.